guys, what's up? My name is Disha and I'm an artist and a student. So this video is in collaboration with Leo Club of Bombay Uptown. They've come up with this beautiful project called Knowledge Shared is equal to Knowledge Squared, and it's essentially a bunch of artists and creators who have come together, and they're going to teach you, they're going to share knowledge in their area of expertise. And as I said, I'm an artist, so I'm going to teach you art. This video is going to be about this beautiful art form called the Mandala, or a Mandala art, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have heard of it or even seen it on your Explore feed, because this quarantine, so many people turned to art, right? And that's beautiful. I'm so glad they did. So before starting the tutorial, I'm going to talk a bit more about what a mandala is. It's a very meditative art form. It's very relaxing, very calming. Okay, it helps with anxiety. It helps with stress. And I personally think it's really important, especially right now with everything that's going around in this world, and getting that one moment of silence, that one moment of peace of mind, it's really needed. So I really hope you guys get something out of this video. This video helps you, benefits you, and if it did, please let me know. I will definitely link my social media handles in the description box, and you can also comment if you liked it or if you even tried making one. So okay, that's enough blabbering. Let's just get into the video. So these are all the materials that we will need for the mandala. So I'm just going to list them down. We have an eraser, a sharpener. This is a compass, that's a rounder. We need a pair of scissors. We need a pencil, and these are a variety of pens that we can use. I'll come back to this later. And we need a ruler. So let's just get all of this out of the way. I'm just going to talk about the kind of pens you can use for this particular art. Now, as I said, if you really want to invest in like good brands and some quality products, one of the best brands for pens is Micron. Okay, I have a set of these pens and they are my favorite to use, and they come in different sizes. Like the nib size varies, and you can use them for detailing and also for like huge drawings. The other one that I use is the Art Line. Again, a very good brand. And there was one more. This one is called Uni Pen. I love how thin the nib is. I use this for detailing. Okay, then again, if you don't want to invest in these brands because they are a bit expensive, you can just use a normal black pen, whatever you have at home right now. This one is the Pilot high-tech point. This is, I think, $40, and I love the nib and how smooth this is. So if you're using a normal black pen, I would suggest you go with a gel pen instead of a ballpoint, because gel pens are much smoother to work with. Now again, I'm using black pens. It's not necessary for you to use only black ink. You can draw your mandala with any color that you prefer, but I love the black and white aesthetic, so I'm going along with a black pen. Now, before moving on to drawing a mandala, I'm going to teach you basic shapes, okay? The basic shapes that you need to know before making any mandala. So we're going to go with the Micron 08. It's pretty thick, okay? So the first shape I'm going to teach you, the first one is a pretty simple one. Okay, so we're just going to make a line here, which is going to act as a baseline for us. And so this one is called petals. Now these aren't official names of these shapes, obviously. These are just names I use to remember them correctly. Okay, so you can use these or you can name them on your own, it depends on you. So these are called petals. They're really simple. You just make shapes like flower petals, but it's not in a circle, it's in a straight line. The second one we're going to use is the same thing, but they are long petals. So they are longer than this and bigger in size. Okay, so again we're going to make the baseline, and these are our long petals. Okay, the third one is one of my favorite shapes. I call it the jalebi or the chakra. Okay, so these are just spirals. Okay, so I'm gonna name it jalebi, that is spirals. Okay, now these can vary in size, so it depends on what you're making and what design you're making. The fourth one is a pointed leaf. So we're gonna make a baseline. I'm gonna show you how it's made. So you go, it's almost like an incomplete S, and then you come back down like this. So basically you're making a leaf, okay, but it's pointed at the end. So you go up and you come down. You can make it as small as you want or as huge as you want. Okay, this is called the pointed leaf. The fifth one is again a leaf, but it's the most common shape. Okay, so it's just 1 and 2. Okay, these are like two curves which meet at the end. So this is like a leaf again, but a common shape. Okay, the sixth one is a triangle. Okay, as simple as that. A triangle. Now let's move on to the next shape. That's the seventh one. These are called drop petals. Okay, I'm gonna name it first. Drop petals. I'm sorry for my handwriting. I will also type it down so that you can understand it better. These are called drop petals because they literally look like drops. Okay. Now the eighth one is one of my favorites. It's called the peacock shape. Okay, so how you're gonna make this is you're gonna make an incomplete S again. Okay, incomplete S. Then you make a spiral here. Okay, so this is a spiral which is going inwards, and then you just curve it and you join the line. This can be as thin or as thick that you want it to be. Okay, look at that, how perfect that looks, right? This is called the peacock shape. The ninth one is a carry shape. That means carry is mango, but it's a raw mango, alright? So you can go along with mango shape also because like it's the same, lol. Okay, so this one, it goes like this, again an incomplete S, but here we don't spiral at the end, we just take this point and come down. That's it. Now I'm gonna make this a bit more curvier. You see that? Now if you want, you can make a spiral, but you take it from here. You see it? This one is a spiral on top and this one is just around it. Got it? The 10th one, the last shape. Now obviously there are hundreds of different shapes that you can use, but these are the most common 10, so I'm going to teach you those. This one is very commonly used. They're just lines, okay? So lines, you can use them anywhere, be it for shapes, for fillings, and they are really versatile. So you can either make lines like these, parallel lines, but I'm just making it long, short, long, short, long, short, okay? The next type can be a line and then you make a dot, a line, a dot, a line, a dot, and then the line. Other ways you can make it is you make a line and a dot on the top, make a line on the top. So these are the 10 basic shapes, right, that we learned right here. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a close up, okay, so you can understand what we did. Now once we have the basic shapes, let's move on to the fillings, okay? The fillings inside of these basic shapes. So I'm just gonna turn this page around, zoom in a bit so you can see it properly. Okay, so the fillings, are basically a mixture of these basic shapes, okay? So let's say we made a basic shape that is the pointed leaf, okay? So I'm just gonna make a pointed leaf right here. Okay, now we have a basic shape. Now what next? What do we fill inside? So I'm gonna take my fine line pen, okay, because I love this. I use this for detailings and fillings, and I'm gonna we're gonna make a variety of shapes inside this, and they will be in the combination of petals plus long petals plus spirals, that's the jalebi, okay, and plus lines. Let's do lines. So now what I'm gonna do is start right here. I'm gonna make a spiral. Okay, now once the spiral is done, what I'm gonna do, okay, let me just zoom it in more for you guys to see what I'm doing exactly. So now that we have our spiral here, I'm gonna outline it and then make petals around it. Okay, now that we have our petals, I'm gonna make long petals now. Right here. Okay, now that we have this done, what I'm gonna do is just outline this too. Okay, the outline is done. Now we're gonna use lines, okay? So look closely. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I did that. Now I'm gonna take one more corner, that's this. I'm gonna make more lines here. So all you have to do is take a point of corner and then start making lines against it, okay? So now we have a corner here. So you see how beautiful and geometric that looks? And then try your best to make lines in different directions. Okay? That's it. And we're done with our first filling. You see how beautiful that looks like? Now the second one, we're gonna make a peacock shape, alright? Right here. So let's start filling this in. So because this is a peacock, it's a bird, I also like to sometimes make its beak, which looks really nice. So I'm just going to make a beak right here. Look how cute that looks, right? And I'm also going to give him eyes, which you can do just with a spiral. That's it. Now we're going to separate his head from its body, alright? So I just made some curves. Now let's get into filling this up. So we're gonna go with spirals again. Fill it in. You make your petals and then your long petals. Okay? I'm gonna make a row only with spirals. There you go. And now I'm gonna outline this up too. Now once that is done, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make a crisscross design. So for that I first need parallel lines which go it. Now that we have it, you can leave it like this, or you can go ahead and do some more detailing. So you can also fill alternate boxes. You can color them black. Okay, so now that we are done with the basics, let's come to the actual mandala. So for that I'm going to use this light yellow paper. Okay, you can use whatever color you want. I was going to go with white, but I thought this would also look really nice and I can show you guys a bit of a variety. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we need our rounder and our pencil, and we're going to fix this up. Okay, we're going to put the pencil in, make it nice and tight, screw it in tightly and make sure the tips match, okay, they are at the same height. Now once we have our rounder, you can choose what length you want your mandala to be, okay, what radius it should be. It depends on how big or small you want the mandala to be. So I'm just gonna take a random radius here. And now if you want your mandala to be at the center of your page, you will have to figure out and you will have to calculate the center, but I don't really it's okay for me if it's not in the center. So I'm just going to take a random point and go ahead and make a circle. Okay, now that we have a circle, I know my mandala will be of this size. Now we're going to make more circles inside of this. Okay, so again, the length and the radius doesn't matter. I'm just going to make circles for my shapes to fit in. Okay, so I have this right here. What you can also do is, if you don't want to move this, you just can move your page. Okay, now that's done. I'm going to make a really small border here. So I'm going to take my page and just move it along. Now that we have our, okay, I'm going to make one more smaller circle in here. Okay, so we have our basic shape right here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. I've made 5 circles. There is no restriction to the amount of circles you want. You can make more or less, depends on you. Now, before starting in, I am a huge fan of symmetry, okay? So if you want all of your shapes to be of equal size, it's very easy. What you're gonna do is just divide your page into half, okay? I'm just gonna do it randomly, okay, because it's alright. It doesn't have to be very accurate, but if you want to calculate it and get it done, that's completely okay too. So once I've done this, I have 4 equal parts, okay? So now I have, these are my guidelines, okay, for the symmetry. Now I have an idea of where I want to place my shapes and so on. Now these are just 4 parts. If you want, you can also make more. Okay. So what I'm just gonna do is take my rounder, alright, and measure this up, okay, and place it here. I'm gonna make a mark here. This is like basic geometry that we learned in school, right? Again, keep my point here and make a mark here. So now that we have the middle point, I can just join this and we will get 2 more parts of this particular quarter shape, okay? I'm going to do the same thing here. Keep my point here. I'm going to make an arc. Keep my point here. And again, an arc. So now that we see this hasn't joined, so I'm going to make this a bit longer. So it does. So now we have a middle point. So all you're going to do is join these dots, okay? So I'm going to join this and the middle point. So let's do that. I'm going to keep it this way so you guys can see better. It's a task to draw and film together. Okay, here you go. We have a line. I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, so we have a line here as well. Now that you guys can see, we have proper 8 sides. Okay, we have 8 partitions in this circle, and now we have equal guidelines to place our shapes. Isn't that cool? Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead, take my pencil, and we can start placing the shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and make a long petal. Now because I know my guidelines, I'm gonna follow them and make the petal according to the shape. Okay, so right here, same thing. I'm gonna make the petal. The end result should basically be a flower. Okay, here we go. We have a flower. Now the next step will be going on to this particular circle, okay, this space. Now, as you can see, I have a midpoint here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to use that and make a pointed leaf from here. Okay, so we start from here
and we end it here. We start from here, we end it here. So here you go. Once I have my pointed leaf, I'm gonna make the other side. Okay, the same thing here. If we're just starting out, getting these shapes exactly like each other, okay, it is a bit difficult because you will need some practice. So I would suggest you to practice these basic shapes, okay, consistently. Instead of directly diving into a mandala, just practice these basic shapes that I taught you, okay? Now we have our basic structure. Now let's see, this particular area is a bit empty, right? It's looking a bit empty. So we're gonna fill this in too. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay, but it's gonna be from the middle here. That's it. So I choose the middle of this and join it to the point. Make a curve. Okay, again, middle and join it. Middle, join it. Okay? So next we move on to this. So right here I'm gonna leave this particular space as it is. We can give in a lot of more details later, okay, when we ink this. Now let's come here. So here I'm just going to make a peacock or a carry, sorry, okay, this has become a carry now. So I'm gonna make a mango shape. Okay. Same thing here. Now make sure the direction of each and every shape you're making is consistent, right? So the spiral was on the left side, so the same thing here. I'm gonna keep the direction consistent. So spiral will go here and the carry here. Okay. Sorry, this has to be a bit more spacey. Okay, cool. Now the spiral will go here. Alright, and then we make the curve. Okay, so now that we have our shape set in, we can fill this space up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a long petal here. Okay, same thing. So instead of just filling one space completely, I'm going step by step, okay? So every shape I make here, I'm going to make the same thing here so that I don't lose track of it, okay? And it doesn't look different each time. I'm going to make a long petal here and a long petal here. Okay, that's done. I'm going to come here. So what I'm going to do is make a small petal here, okay? Right here. Same thing here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing right here. So you see, it's okay if we have a little bit of space here, okay? Okay, now that we have the space here, we're just going to outline this. Okay? Outline this. Okay, so what you can do is, you can adjust the shape. And make it bigger to fit. Okay, now that we've outlined one part, we're going to do the same with the other one. But here, instead of going all the way like this, what we're going to do is join both of these lines. Okay, so I join both of these. Same thing here. I'm going to join both of these lines. Okay. Okay, this is going to make this a bit better. That's it. We have it right here. Now we can fill this particular area with lines. Okay, so once we've done that, you can just fill it with lines again. But same thing here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now that we have this set here, what I'm gonna do is let's go to our basic shapes. Okay, you can choose any of these. So we can choose triangles. Okay, so we're gonna make triangles here. So let's just get so that we need to make triangles. I'm just gonna go ahead and randomly place them at each point that we have. Okay, right here, right here. This is a really rough drawing. Okay, so it's completely okay if it's not accurate. So we have our triangles right here. Now you can leave it like this. Okay, you can leave the triangles like this without any space filling, because this looks really good. It looks like a symbol, or a, you know, like it looks like a shield, right? Or you can go ahead and fill this in too. So what I'm gonna do is make a pointed leaf again between these triangles. Now if you think the space is too much, you just go ahead, erase it and adjust your triangle. Okay, so I'm just gonna go erase this and adjust my triangle. That's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Now this one looks very huge compared to the other one, so I'm just gonna make it a bit subtle. Okay, that's it. We have the structure of a mandala right here. Now we can go ahead and ink it. So I'm gonna use my Micron 0.8 to ink it in. Okay, because I want the outlines of the shapes to be thicker. Okay, so now that we're done inking this entire mandala, I'm just gonna take my eraser and erase the extra pencil lines. Okay, so now that we have our basic structure ready, we can go ahead and ink this in. Okay, so we're gonna make fillings inside. Okay, like we learned here. So like we learned here, we're just gonna do the same thing and fill these shapes in.
So that's it. You are at the end of the video, and I'm really thankful if you watched the entirety of it. I hope it helped you, and I hope you explore this art form. And if you do make a mandala, please do send it to me. I would love to see what you guys create. You can send it to me on my Instagram, that is everything yellow. I'll link it down in the description box. I also have my own YouTube channel, which is an art channel, and I post a whole lot of art videos, tutorials, and a lot of different things. So if you would like to go and follow me there, please go and subscribe to my channel. And wait, I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, I have my own official merch. It is on this website called Frankly Wearing. So don't worry, I'm just gonna link everything in the description box so you can just go and check it out. Thank you so much, Leo, for this beautiful initiative. And all of you, please stay tuned, subscribe to their channel, because they have a lot more videos coming up for you guys, a lot more workshops. So yes, thank you, Leo, for this beautiful opportunity. I hope all of you are okay, you're taking care. Please stay indoors. Thank you, love you, bye.